There we go. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the second installment of Forgotten Friday. And on today's episode, we're going to be playing the VB.10-02. Now, this is a French aircraft of 4.0 battle rating in sim and 4.3 battle rating in realistic battles. Now, let's talk about this thing briefly before we get into some battles. So, this thing, I think, was designed in 1945, and it was originally designed with one engine, but as you can see, they after that they put a second engine into this aircraft. Now, although this has two engines, and you might be thinking, this thing is pretty powerful. It's not really. It's quite underpowered for what it is. And also you can see the props here are actually pretty small for the size of the plane that they're pulling along, if that makes sense. I mean, these props, in my opinion, need to be a bit like longer, maybe thicker, to pull more air to propel the aircraft forward. It's quite a heavy aircraft to play. It has a lot of guns, don't get me wrong, 4 Hispanos and 6 12mm. But it's quite a heavy plane to play. So I mean, if we look at something along the lines of the Wyvern, you can see that the props compared to the size of the fuselage are pretty big. That they're thicker, they're longer. Same with the American A2D. Compared to the fuselage of the plane, the props are quite big. Now, these ones are more thicker than they are longer, but they're quite big. I mean, they can move more air. But if we look at the French one, they're really small, which just to me just doesn't make much sense. But anyway, let's get into some games with this, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, so here we go into our first battle. Now, I'm not quite sure on the play style of this thing. I'm guessing it's kind of, like a boom zoom type of deal, maybe, because it's quite heavy. I'm not sure how much it compresses in a dive. Well, I mean, we'll find all this sort of stuff out. But to start off with, I'm going to go into a sort of side climb here. See how well this thing can climb. The climb rate is 2,300 feet per minute, which is not very good, to be honest. Considering the double engine, dual prop kind of, this thing's meant to be fast type idea, it's not. It's quite heavy. The cockpit, I do quite like the cockpit though, just because of the kind of simplicity of it, and the kind of symmetricalness, if that's a word. I don't care, it's a word now. Yeah, I kind of like the cockpit in this thing. So in terms of cooling, it cools okay-ish. I mean, that intake is huge. But as you saw there, we had WEP turned on for about 20, maybe 30 seconds before it started going yellow. We'll turn the WEP on again, see how long we can keep it in the yellow zone before it starts to turn dangerous kind of temperatures. But yeah. This plane is just real heavy to fly. I mean, even the roll rate is okay-ish. I mean, the plane itself, like the design of it, I think it's okay. It's an all-right looking plane. It's not the best, it's not the worst. It's an all-right looking plane. Intake could be a bit smaller maybe, then it would look maybe a bit better. But yeah, it's not the ugliest plane in the world. It's just, you never really see anyone play this. Some guy. That's the version before, which has less guns, and a lot more people are playing this at the moment since the last update. Right now, a few more people have been playing this thing, obviously because they want to get to the Mirage and stuff like that. It's the same situation with the MD450s and 52s. A lot more people have been playing those, and you see those a lot more now that the Mirage is in the game and people want the Mirage. But before that, you hardly ever saw this thing used. A few times maybe, But yeah, this thing is just, it's just not the best. It's not like, you know, every game you'll see a Spitfire or a P51 or a Yak or a, you know, a 109, whatever. This is quite a bit more rare than those things. And you'll probably see why in a moment. So we've got 3 hostiles up there to about our 2 o'clock position. We've got a DO-217 down below. We're going to leave the DO-217. I don't think the Firefly is going to attack the 217. There are like 3 people above the 217 that could dive on him. So we're going to continue flying this way and kind of focus on other people that are going to be coming into the battlefield soon. I still only see 3. Okay, maybe that 4. We see 4, 5 people. 3 are up high, 2 are low. Okay, we've got 264, which I'm not going to attack. Okay, so we've had WEP on for the whole time this time. It's still in the orange zone, so you can keep it on for a fair amount of time, and it should be okay. We're going to reduce to 100 at the moment, though. So what we got? We got a two 264s, which one of them's quite low-ish, which is weird. We've got 2 190s, a 109, a P47 Bolt. We've got another one behind the 190 as well. So we're going to climb a little bit higher, and then we'll start to turn in towards the battlefield here. Some weapon again, but yeah, the climb rate of this thing isn't the best. I mean, you see like something F6F. This is 2,300, which is basically the same as this. Same climb rate as an F6F. So there's your comparison. Similar climb rate to an F6F. So it's not as fast at climbing as other stuff, which is why I probably recommend side climbing in this thing. I mean, me personally, I side climb in like 90% of all my prop games. That's just how I prefer to play. Whether that's gaining height or just getting distance, whatever, I prefer to side climb in most things. You guys might be a bit different, that's fine. But yeah, we're going to side climb this thing. We're going to see if we can get someone here. I think there's about 4 enemies here or something like that. Two 190s over there. The 264s, I'm not sure. Okay, one of the 190s just killed a friendly. That's that guy over there. Yeah, we're going to head over here towards the 190 and the 109. So there's 2 of them versus 1 Spitfire. That's what it looks like at the moment. The 3 above him are bombers, so they're kind of not going to help these guys down here. The Spitfire just got that guy, so the Spitfire's going to work on the 190 soon. Did I just hear someone flying in? I don't think so. So that Spitfire's going to work on that 190. They still got over half the team left. Just haven't spotted any of them yet. So let's see what this thing is like in a dive. Let's dive down here. See if it compresses or... Oh, no. We are not diving down there. Roger that. So there's another guy over here, which looks like he's dead. Right. Okay. So now we need to find more people, but the question is where? I don't see any dots. Ah, there's a 217, although I think that Spitfire will probably get him. I don't see anyone else at the moment, though. I mean, the crew for this crew is fully upgraded. That DO-17 looks like he's smoking quite a bit. Okay, so they're carrying about 430 miles an hour down here. I'm going to continue diving just to see how fast. Okay, so this thing can't really exceed 500 miles an hour. Translations will go on screen, obviously. Yeah, so this thing can't really exceed 500 miles an hour, which the P51, I believe, can a little bit. So you're not going to be catching up with those anytime soon, but they should be on your team anyway. So just bear that speed in mind. It didn't seem to compress all that bad, to be honest, actually. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would have been. Okay, so they've got, what's that, 2 bombers and like 4 or 5 fighters left. Or bombers if they haven't done any bombing. The 2 bombers are over there. Looks like there's a third person over there. I'm not quite... Should we attack the bombers? I mean, I can't see any fighters anywhere. Like, at all. This game was pretty dead, to be honest. We have some good explanations in this game though, so it's been alright, it's been alright. Okay, so I'm just going to start climbing towards these bombers here and see if there's any fighters that appear on the way up. We won't be able to climb at this angle for very long though, because, you know, climb rate isn't the best. So, another thing is all of our guns are wing mounted, meaning that you will have to set your kind of zeroing distance, but most prop planes have wing guns anyway, so that shouldn't be too much of a problem. It doesn't have any central mounted guns like the ASUS nations tend to do, which could be a drawback depending on how you like to play and how your aiming is. But yeah, just a note to you that it does have all of its guns on the wings. I think some central mounted would have been useful, but I don't think France was in the best position in 1945. So we've got 3 264s in this direction up here. I might need to come back round. Yeah, I haven't got enough energy to attack that one. We'll leave that one for now. This one though, on the other hand, we might have. Is he... What is this guy doing? Come on, we can catch up with a 264. There we go. So, we pilot sniped that guy. I did wonder how he died so fast. Okay, so we got a 190 on us now. This is probably going to be the end of us because we can't turn for shit in this thing. A dive maybe might save us, but I highly doubt it. The 190 has the agility advantage over us. Yep. And those Meningeschoss rounds just screwed us over there. So yeah, this plane, you know, doesn't climb very well, doesn't turn very well, it's very heavy. So in my recommendation, I would probably engage things in a dive. If you guys play it a different way and you think there's a better way to play this, then leave it in the comments. I'll be more than happy to check that out. It might even make me play this plane better or enjoy it more. But yeah, so that was the first game of the VB.10-02. Now, as I said before, there is 2 versions of this. This is the higher BR version. The previous version is basically the same, just less guns, just the 4 Hispanos. There's no 12mm on this one. So that's why this one is 4.3, but they're basically kind of the same speed, same agility, all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so we're going to play one more game in this. We're going to see how we can do this time. I mean, we got a 264, but that was kind of a pilot snipe, so that was a bit lucky. We'll see what we can do. We're going to play the same playstyles we did before, so climbing and diving on stuff. We're not going to try and turn with stuff because this thing is just... It's not going to happen. So here's our second game. And obviously we do get air spawn. We do get the interceptor spawn. Because we are classed as an interceptor and strike fighter. So that's an added bonus on the map where everyone gets kind of, you know, ground spawn. So we're just going to, you know, attempt to climb here. Although we are climbing towards their airfield. So, change of plan. We're going to climb this way, which is a bit more away. Although I think this way is probably worse because they're going to turn, going to come into the middle of the battlefield here. Anyway, that's not the biggest concern at the moment. The biggest concern is trying to get the actual height that we need with this crappy climb rate. So like I said, we do have a slight height advantage at the moment, but most of this stuff will probably outclimb us. See, they're getting close already. So we already see one. That's it looks like there's 2 bombers in the distance at my 11 o'clock position. The temperatures are on orange, so we're still good on that. Not red yet. They seem to stay in orange for quite a while, so the cooling seems to be semi-decent up to this point. They don't really tend to... Well, it doesn't look like they go over this, to be honest. And obviously this isn't spaded for me. This is kind of, you know, stock. So this might be a little bit faster. You'll definitely have better rounds in your guns as well once upgraded. So it'll be a little bit better, maybe. But I wouldn't expect too much from a spaded VB, because already it's, you know, it's a mediocre plane at best. It's not something, you know, a new player could get in and just get some kills with, you know. It's not that sort of thing. I do have something to my 11 that's on the same sort of height as me. Now I'm intrigued as to what this is. I'm going to gain a little bit more height. Just keep gaining height as we get... It looks like a bomber, maybe a 264. It's definitely a bomber. We're going to pull towards it. Obviously still gaining a height. And then see what it is. Yeah, that is definitely a 264 for sure. Definitely a 264. If I zoom in there, you can see it. So let's take it back down to 100%. Let this cool off a bit. We're gonna try and get this 264. It looks like he's turned away from us now, so he's going back to his airfield direction. We do have to be wary of the fighters though that have taken off. There's a 109 in that direction to about my 9 o'clock. And 2 P47s as well. Gain some more height again as these P47s. How's that guy doing with the P? How's the P47? Okay, he just killed the friendly. Let's see what we can do with this P47. I highly doubt we're going to do much. We've got a P47 over there that's getting much closer. He's probably tracking me. Yeah, he's definitely tracking me. I have a feeling he's probably faster. I'm going to continue tracking this P47, but keep an eye on this guy. Yeah, he's getting very, very close now. Might have to do something. This plane isn't going to go much faster than this. You see, we're being outsped by a P47, which, keep in mind, that has 1 engine and 1 prop. Yep, this is going to be the end, unless that friendly can help us, which I highly doubt. Come on, friendly. Yep, P47's got us. Unless we can slow it down here and he goes past us. Has the tail control? Yeah, the tail control's gone. Well, that's the end of that. If I'm honest, I will not be flying this again. There's no way I'm flying this again. Even in a dive, this thing cannot outspeed like anything. I mean, I think the only thing it could probably outspeed is the wooden planes, like the yaks and stuff, because they can't really go above 450 in a dive. This can go, like I just showed you, 500 if you're lucky, but you'd have to pull off like as soon as you hit 500. But yeah, you just saw that P47 just gain quicker and quicker and quicker on our tail. We were in a dive on WEP and still just quicker. The P47 got to us. Now, yes, that game could have gone much better if we would have kept our height, but I wanted to see if we could get the P47 down below. But yeah, obviously these Forgotten Friday videos, take them with a grain of salt. I'm obviously not the best player. I'm just playing these planes to show you guys how they work. And why they're not really played that often, which is why this is called Forgotten Friday. But yeah, I hope that you guys can actually learn something from these videos, and you know, makes you aware of these vehicles that are forgotten, or makes you play them more, or makes people make skins for them, whatever. I just want to raise awareness for these vehicles that are like hardly ever played, because they're kind of here and they're forgotten. They're cool vehicles, but there's a reason why they're forgotten. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope to see you in the next Forgotten Friday video, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.